Welcome to the Trojan Windup. I'm AJ Lawrence, and I'm going to give you the rundown on what went down during Week 9 of USC's baseball season. Week 9 would see the number 6 Trojans going up against ranked opponents in all 4 games. The week started on Tuesday with the number 12 UC Santa Barbara Gauchos coming out to Dato Field. When the teams met in early March, the Trojans lost a pitching duel 3-2, and it would be another low-scoring affair this time. Jeff Paschke got the start in what would be a staff day, and he gave up just 1 hit in his 2 innings of work. Bernardo Flores came in next, and the Gauchos would have the first serious threat of the day. A couple of walks and a hit by a pitch loaded the bases with 2 outs for Dalton Kelly. Flores would catch Kelly looking to keep the game scoreless. The first runs of the game came in 6th. Flores got 2 outs, but Santa Barbara got 3 singles to bring in 2 runs and knock Flores from the game. Tyler Gilbert came in and struck out Campbell Gear to end the inning. But now USC trailed 2-0. The Trojans chipped away in the 8th. Bobby Stahl got a leadoff single and made it around to 3rd with 2 outs. That wild pitch cut the Gauchos' lead in half, and the Trojans would go to the 9th trailing 2-1. Robbie Nesevic came in to pitch the 9th for UCSB and retired the first 2 batters. A 2-out single by David Oppenheim kept the Trojans' hopes alive. But the team would fail to score, losing by a final score of 2-1. The weekend would see the crosstown rivalry heat up as the number 7 UCLA Bruins came to campus. All 3 games were on the Pac-12 network and drew near sellout crowds at Dato Field. Friday, the Trojans started Brent Wheatley against the Bruins' James Caprillion, and it would be UCLA scoring first. With 2 on in the top of the first, Ty Moore launched a fly ball off the scoreboard, giving the Bruins a 3-0 lead. UCLA would add on 2 more in the 3rd to extend its lead to 5-0. But the Trojans, they answered. A leadoff double by Reggie Southall and a pair of walks loaded the bases for Jeremy Martinez with nobody out.
Got a fastball, loops it back a short. Kramer retreating again. USC on the board.
That knocked in a run, and it looked like a huge rally was brewing. Timmy Robinson was up next and hit a sharp grounder, but it went for a 6-4-3 double play, scoring Stahl. That's all the Trojans would get, and the inning ended with the score 5-2. USC put runners on in the 4th and 5th, but couldn't get anyone in, and the score remained 5-2 heading into the 7th. Once again, UCLA would score via the long ball. This time, Christoph Bono, his 3-run shot would make it 8-2 and put the game out of reach. Leading off the bottom of the 7th, Stahl would provide the final bright spot of the day for the Trojans.
Loud contact here. Christoph Bono just hit a 3-run home run, and now he watches one go over his own wall. Can't keep Bobby Stahl down long. A solo shot. Home run number 2 on the year for Bobby Stahl.
It was his 2nd home run of the year. UCLA would add on a run in the 9th, and the Bruins would take the first game of the series by a score of 9-3. Saturday night's game capped a busy day on campus. Swim with Mike was that morning, followed by football's spring game, and a sellout crowd of 2,500 packed the stadium in support of the Trojans and starter Kyle Toomey. In the bottom of the first, Stahl led off with a walk and made it to 3rd with 1 out. A ground ball by Martinez caught Stahl in a rundown. Robinson drew a walk as well, and Dante Flores stepped to the plate.
1-1 to Flores. To the gap in right center field. And USC has its first lead of the series. Martinez and Robinson played it.
The big 2-out double by the senior gave the Trojans a 2-0 lead at the end of 1. The second would see some more fireworks by the Trojans. A 2-out single by Angelo Labruna brought up Stahl, and his hot streak continued.
Stahl connects. A deep drive to left. Bobby Stahl has done it again.
His second homer in as many days pushed USC's lead to 4-0. Toomey would get into some trouble in the fourth when the Bruins would load the bases with 2 down for Bono.
And he does.
Toomey would get him swinging, keeping the score 4-0. USC would tack on another run in the 7th after a double by LaBruna brought up Stahl. It was Stahl's 3rd RBI of the day and gave the Trojans a 5-0 lead. The Bruins would threaten again in the 7th. After Toomey got 2 quick outs, a pair of singles, and a walk loaded the bases for Luke Persico. Coach Dan Hubbs went to the mound, but Toomey convinced him to leave him in.
Got him looking. Kyle Toomey said, "Leave me in," and he rewards his manager's confidence.
That fastball on the corner was Toomey's 7th strikeout of the game, and it was the last real chance for UCLA. Tyler Gilbert pitched 2 scoreless innings, and the Trojans had taken Game 2, 5-0. Sunday was the rubber game of the series, and Mitch Hart got the start for USC. A crowd of just under 2,000 was on hand to see who would win the series. Hart gave up a run in the first on a sac fly, but the Trojans came right back in the bottom of the inning. Stubbs doubled and scored when Martinez reached on an error. An out later, Flores gave USC the lead. The score was 2-1 at the end of the first. UCLA would tie things up in the 3rd off of a triple by Brett Stevens and a ground out by Moore. The score would stay tied until the 6th when Persico and Moore had back-to-back doubles. Moore moved up to 3rd on a fly out, then a fly ball to left led to this play at the plate.
Back to the breaking ball. To left field. Stahl charging. Moore tagging. Stubbs blocking. And the ball comes out.
The hard slide by Moore just knocked the ball loose. And instead of an inning-ending double play, it was another run for the Bruins. The next batter was Darrell Miller Jr. He hit a deep home run to left, giving UCLA a 5-2 lead and knocking Hart from the game. Mark Huberman came in to record the final out, but the Trojans found themselves in another hole. USC answered right back in their half of the 6th. Stahl hit a double to left center, and Stubbs singled to shallow right, putting runners on the corners. Martinez hit a fly ball to the wall in right that nearly tied the game. Instead, it was just a sacrifice fly. It was all the Trojans would get that inning, and for the rest of the game. A walk by David Oppenheim was the last base runner USC would have. The Bruins would add on 3 in the 9th for the final score of 8-2. What's up next for Troy? On Tuesday, the number 10 Trojans head to Malibu to face Pepperdine for the 2nd time this season. USC beat the team 5-2 just 3 weeks ago. And on Friday, USC opens a 3-game set against Oregon. This will be a Pac-12 conference matchup to see. Last season, USC opened Pac-12 play against Oregon. Troy ultimately lost the series, winning just 1 of 3 games. But things don't look quite the same as they did last season. The Ducks are 3-8 in conference and 20-16 overall. Just 3 weeks ago, Arizona swept Oregon in a 3-game series. Of course, USC tamed those same Wildcats the following week. We'll see how things play out this weekend. Thanks for watching the Trojan Windup. I'm AJ Lawrence, and you can catch us here every week. Fight on.